make sure everything's good.
Where does the audio come in here?
We're doing it straight from the mic, so we just gotta speak up a little bit. Yeah, we throw it on airplane mode.
Yeah.
The telephones?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
He didn't do that podcasting. He was getting all the calls.
It's all good.
Where does the audio
Let
come
me
in?
mute this real quick. We're doing it straight from the mic. All right, everything's working. We're back with another roundtable. This is one of the most highly requested things you guys asked for. I got both of my friends named Sebastian.
Hello.
And the one and only Luke Belmar came through as well.
What's up?
We're going to be kicking game to you guys for a good hour here, talking about various topics such as e-commerce, becoming a better man, investing, and just picking these guys' brains a little bit because all three of these guys are people that I respect very heavily. We're also going to be taking some questions from the chat as well. So if you guys have questions, think about them. We'll bring them up a little bit later. But first off, how y'all enjoying Colorado? You having a good time?
Amazing, bro.
My first time here.
Yeah.
You come out every year.
Every year.
It's like a religious thing.
This man went snowboarding for the first time.
Bro, I
today.
did some blues. I'm actually I'm happy with myself.
Yeah.
I'm good. You tore your what's up with your knee, dude?
My knee is destroyed. Snowboarding has done the best of me for sure.
You know,
but
it's when you go up the what do you call
The
them?
lift, bro.
It fucks up. It
That's
fucks up your knee when it
30
twists
minutes.
up.
happened to me.
It fucks it up.
it's
I was literally thinking today. I was like, somebody needs to innovate snowboards. Think about how long this bullshit is, bro. Think about this bullshit of putting your shit on, taking it off.
Yeah.
Is there ones that have like magnets?
They have ones that you just like stamp your foot in and it
That's
clips
what I
in
need.
there.
That's what I need, bro. I need
Yeah,
magnets.
you'll get one
Also,
right.
there's gondolas too that go up to mountains, and I think Vail has some. And so you put your board in it and you just sit, and then you get on top of the mountain.
That's
You
what I
take your
need,
board
bro.
off.
Because it takes so much time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a better experience.
In Switzerland, they're like a lot shorter, so you have to get on the little trolley thing a lot more often. But this one was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so look, the first thing I want to talk about is just getting into your guys' heads on what you want to get accomplished for this year of 2023. I talked to Luke about this last night, but I'm curious to hear from you guys. So, Sebastian, you go first. Tell me what's on your mind this year. What
Sure.
you got brewing?
So YouTube has been a big focus. Last year I did pretty well, and so that's kind of my main focus for all year. I went at 500,000 subs,
Nice.
and then everything else kind of follows that. But that's kind of my main priority is just keep posting good content, and then everything else will follow. So
Yeah, definitely. How about you, Sebastian?
So I want to start and get my SaaS company off the ground and start making money with that. I want to also get 1.5 million on YouTube, and I want to play 1,000 games of chess. So that's 3 out of like the 10 goals I have. But
You are you public about what the software is yet, or is that still like?
it's way too early. So
Okay.
yeah,
Got you.
no need to talk about it.
We share the same goal for subscribers this year as well.
1.5?
We've always kind of been right at the same level of
You
subscribers.
get
so-
higher, and then I post a good video, and I don't know where we're at now, but
Yeah, that's good stuff,
we'll
bro.
both get there.
And you, Luke?
Brother, I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm chilling now.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I just know I did some blue diamond or blue shits today.
He's gonna go snowboard
trying to
a
go
lot
to Black
more.
Diamond.
Yeah, bro. No, for this year, honestly, we talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
Just focusing on making sure I don't cheat myself today.
Yeah.
You know, and making sure that today I just accomplished what I need to accomplish today. It's literally like the slopes. If you look at the bottom, you're like, fuck, dude, like, how am I going to get there? You're just supposed to understand how to brake, how to move this way, move that way, understand the fundamentals, and then take your time. Take your time, work your way down, look a few feet ahead, look a few meters ahead, maybe a little bit longer ahead to see the terrain. But when you look way down the line, it can become overwhelming. So
Yeah.
for me, now it's been most likely just recentering my priorities around making sure I don't cheat myself. And I think that those bricks laid perfectly along
Day by day.
a big period of time will create something beautiful. So that's kind of what I'm betting on.
Yeah, for sure. I think approaching it on a daily basis is the way to actually grow. I kind of share some goals like these guys, like thinking towards the end of the year, but the only way we're going to get those goals accomplished is if we take it one day at a time and do the best each day.
Three games of chess per day.
Yeah.
Or like some days 4 to get 1,000, right?
Got
Or
you.
3 games. So that'll be
What makes you want to play chess? You just like it? Is it like you feel like it makes you better at life? Like,
Maybe. I like to think so.
Yeah.
No, chess
I
is
would
just
say
fun.
yes.
It's
I would
super
say
fun.
yes.
And it's a really like nice gentleman thing to know how to do. There's a really nice chessboard downstairs, like a nice marble chess.
How long
We
have you
should
been playing?
Chess?
Yeah.
Just a couple of years. I've played a total of 1,400 games.
Yeah, I haven't played 1,400, maybe like 200 games.
Yeah.
play about 14.
It's really it's really challenging. You learn a lot. You learn how to think. I would say chess has taught me one thing that I've gotten from chess is to think about what would happen after my next action. So if I'm going to do something, I think about the next couple of things that are going to happen because of what I did. And that seems like a pretty easy thing to figure out without playing 1,000 games of chess. But when you play chess, you have to do that actively every single time you play. Otherwise, you're going to lose, and obviously you're playing to win. And so if you do it while you play chess and you get used to it, you're going to do it in other areas of your life too. I think it's a really useful thing.
Yo, so we had got a $10 donation from somebody. Shout out to him. He was asking, he's doing short form right now. He worked with Iman, Sneeko, etc. He said, do you think the best way to reach out to high value people is through cold email? I got an answer, but I'm curious what you guys think. Because we all doing short form.
I mean,
right
the
now.
answer is very straightforward. You sent $10 and you got your message read, right? So you could send out an email. Dude, do you know how many emails we get on content distribution every single day?
Yeah.
But you just did something and you showed out.
That was the first chat I read in the whole
So what did he do? What was the action that he did?
In my opinion, he just stood out. Yeah,
he
stood out. So you just have to find out where you can stand out and stand apart.
So I'll give my answer to this really quick. There's a guy that works for me now. He basically does anything I need him to do. It was an email originally, and I have a girl that goes through my emails, and she said, this guy really, really stands out. You should watch it. He presented a Loom video, and he took my website, and he didn't just say, hey, I can fix your website in an email. He fixed my website. He made a fixed version of my website, and then made a Loom video introducing himself, why he did it, and what he's trying to do, and here's the website. You can have it for free. And then as soon as I saw the Loom video, I was like, send him my number and I'm going to get on a call. And since then, he's been working for me.
And okay, can you explain the logic as to why you said, get
because he's leading with value. He's starting out with.
But like, what is it? I understand why, but for the people that are out here cold calling, what is it in your psyche that leads you to be like, okay, is it the proactiveness? Is it the action? Because the website could have been shit as well. So whereas you wouldn't have contacted him.
Yeah, for the record, the website was good, and the website being good, it's the same reason why I work with him now, and that's because he shows that he's willing to put in more effort than everybody else. So everything that he does for me is always over-deliver, always out of my expectations. He always goes way above and beyond, and he did that also when he reached out to me. When he reached out to me, he went way above and beyond. He fixed my website, he made a video, he introduced himself, he did 10 times more than the next person. I started working with him, and now still all of his work reflects what he did in the very beginning. So that's why I sifted through and I found it really like a gem. And he knows who he is. I love that kid. I just met him for the first time.
Amazing.
Yeah, shout out to him. That's the way to do it, lead with value.
He's 18. Sorry to cut you off. He's 18. He's just a kid.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
Some of the most talented creative people in the industry are young people because they spend the most time on these platforms and they're absorbing the new trendy stuff. When you got the people that are 30 trying to do edits, it's not necessarily having the same effect. So a lot of people asking about the best business models for 2023. I know we probably all discuss this in various different ways, but I think it's a good conversation to have because most people that are watching this live right now are broke. They're just getting started in their journey, or maybe they've tried a couple things and failed.
So can we address why they're broke?
We should.
Because I think that's what people are doing nowadays, if I may. I see everybody putting Band-Aid solutions on an existential problem that transcends business. So if you aren't making money, it's not about knowing what business models exist.
Right.
Do I have to tell you what business models exist for you to make money?
No. And the people watching already know what they want to do and what is the best model.
What is the problem?
The problem is the actions that they're putting
right?
forward.
So everybody's like business model this, business model that. Foundation.
Yep.
And I think for a lot of us that started in e-commerce or drop shipping or online, you lose a lot of the foundational level stuff because you interact with things like Shopify, things like Stripe, which they deteriorate your friction, if that makes sense. But that friction is what makes you a good entrepreneur. So I see a lot of people bouncing back and forth, not finding their lane because they don't really know who they are as entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And I think really people need to figure out where their strengths are. And it's what we talked about yesterday. There is this season for hustling, right? Where you just have to figure out how I need to make money. But then there's seasons to become a boss.
Yeah.
And the season to become a boss means you're no longer hustling. Like you think you move differently.
You're taking your resources and giving them to people to help you execute on that at a higher level.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's what I encourage people is figure out what's the reason why you have to sit down and listen to us, tell you what business models are available, and why can't you sit down and present yourself 20 business models and have a contract with yourself and a commitment with yourself. And I think that that's the biggest problem that I see people having is, dude, YouTube videos are great, content is great, but if you don't take action, dude, if you don't assume responsibility, no amount of inspiration, no Rolex on a wrist is going to push you to the next level, dude. And I think people really need to start doing some self-evaluation.
One of the things you said that was super important that I want people to take is that you need to figure out who you are and what type of entrepreneur you are, right? Like for me, when I had started my journey doing e-commerce, the reason why I was able to make that work is because I have a creative skill set. I was able to make ads. I was able to design websites. I might not have been able to do as well as somebody that's in a more technical field, you know, somebody that's coding or somebody that's managing a big old team. And now for YouTube, it's been able to flourish because of that same exact thing. So it's like for the people that are listening, y'all got to be able to ask yourself that question of like, what are my strengths at this level? If you have none, you got to start building. But do you think people have no strengths? Do you think like...
Of course. There's useless people.
Everybody has some edge though.
Okay,
Like
no,
if
that's
you're
not true. That's not true. That's not true.
Okay.
Brother, I literally go, it's bullshit. There's people that are useless to society. That is the honest truth. But you don't have to be that person.
You don't. And
right?
if you're watching this live,
so
you're in the right
I'm
direction.
going to board Delta, right? You know how sometimes you have to do your own bag check-ins.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, you print out your tag and you take it to the counter, the lady at the counter, and I give her the tag. And she's like, no, you have to tag your own bag. And I'm like, then why the fuck are you here? Oh, well, I'm here to make sure that you tag your bag. Yep. And I looked at her and I said, you will be replaced by AI. And it's true. Of course I did. And it's true because if you don't understand how to provide value in the marketplace, entrepreneurs and business owners are going to figure out how to provide value and customer service in a way that reduces friction. And nowadays, technology, these are employees. ChatGPT, AI, dude, these are robots that work for you 24/7. They don't ask questions. They don't bitch around. They have a fixed price. They're operating 24/7. They're available. They're the top tier. And you think I'm going to go and interact and waste time and hire some bullshit customer service representative when I can literally have robots do that on my behalf? So people need to start thinking. And so not everybody provides value because a lot of people don't even think, how can I provide value? You can't be out here flipping patties and think that you are a person of value because you get paid in proportion to the value that you provide.
That's right.
So if your value is bullshit, you are shit. You are shit, dude. Like, call it what it is. I know it sounds terrible, but you know, we've hit a crossroads in the last 6 months where I think we understand tonality, right? I think we can speak our truth and speak the right way without offending people, without jeopardizing relationships, without being rude, without being condescending. Yeah. But sometimes, dude, you just have to be honest with people and just tell them what it is for what it is. Tell them the truth. And it doesn't mean that you have to be worthless or you have to be useless.
Red flags.
But it's the truth.
Yeah, because I'm using my laptop microphone, so if y'all can't hear these two, you guys just gotta talk a little bit louder. Okay. But don't worry.
There a little bit. Right there you go.
Oh, I thought he was calling Luke a red flag.
Luke, you have brought up something of if you're a person that's out here flipping patties, you're not providing value. Well, Sebastian, my friend here, used to work at a fast food restaurant.
I wasn't flipping patties, but I was making tacos.
Okay, so at that stage of your life, did you feel like you were useless? Did you feel like you were providing no value? And then how do you switch from being him to being him?
Well, so I didn't have like that mentality, like that value mentality. Like this mentality that we all share is something that we've earned. Like it's a stripe that we've earned going through life and earning money and starting businesses and stuff. So people just, they don't know that. Like they don't understand that concept of they have to be valuable. If you say that to an average person, they'll be like, what the heck do you even mean valuable? And I think the best way to be valuable is to either make people more money or to give people back their time. And people will always pay for that in some way, shape, or form. So like Jeff Bezos is like the most common example, but if you can get a product to somebody really fast anywhere in the world, you're gonna make a lot of money, and hence he's like one of the richest people in the world. So he provides a lot of value, and that's why he's super, super rich.
Where did that shift come from for you specifically though, in your life?
Well, I would say,
was it the struggle that you were enduring? Was it seeing the people around you struggling?
Go from brokey to digital?
Well, the original value. Okay, so this is how I learned value. I saw a beat up go-kart on OfferUp that looked completely terrible, like rusted, and just like it hadn't been driven in 5 years. And I bought it, and I washed it, I sanded it down, I repainted it, I fixed the tires, I degreased the engine, and I listed it back on OfferUp for like double the price. Mm-hmm. And the value there is somebody wants to buy something they're gonna feel good about, they'll pay a premium on it, and they see something and it looks cleaner, it looks better, it's taken care of.
You added
so
value to it.
I added value to it. So that's kind of where I learned that. And now, obviously, we've come a long way from there, but adding value and just making people more money or teaching people or inspiring people, and that's where we add a lot of value, because a lot of our value comes from the amount of people that we impact. So if I give you advice, it's valuable to you, but if I give advice to millions of people, that's extremely valuable.
Yeah.
So that's why, we get paid in a huge proportion for that thing, aside from a lot of other things. But
Yeah.
It's an interesting point.
I just wanted to bring it back to there because a lot of people in the chat is there right now.
like working at Taco Bell.
At that moment where they might be hustling at a job, or they might not have a job. Or
So,
they might,
so I would say first figure out what type of job you got to be hustling at, right? Not all jobs are created equal.
Yeah.
There are jobs of opportunity, right? So instead of working, let's say at McDonald's, you could wait tables where you can actually earn your tips and you get paid in proportion to the value that you provide to the table and your ability to upsell, your ability to build relationships, your ability to
More
network,
interesting.
right? So you can be more dynamic. I would never tell a person that has the ambition to be an entrepreneur to work for a salary. I would never. It is the most disgusting thing that you can do if you want to be an entrepreneur, because what you're doing is you're setting up a safeguard for yourself. And that safeguard of comfort, it'll cost you a lot in the long run. And I think people need to go, whether it's sales, whether it's a task like that, maybe you guys agree with that, but
Yep.
being able to do
Sounds
stuff
good.
where you can earn your paycheck.
Yeah. Let's check out some of the chats. I know a lot of you guys got questions for me and these guys. So if you got questions right now, drop them in the chat. We got a couple donations. Shout out to my boy Phidias. Been one of the most impactful people in my YouTube journey, bro. It's like a mentor to me. Shout out to Phidias, one of the best YouTubers out there in the game.
Oh, I know that guy. Phidias,
Yeah.
phenomenal. I saw him, I think, when he had about 30,000
Yeah.
subscribers. Very well done. I actually contacted him because he wanted to come out to Puerto Rico, but I was busy to travel. But, dude, immigrant kid from the slums, from the trenches, and actually out here
Over
hustling
1
and doing
million
his
subs.
thing.
This guy's crazy.
Yeah,
He camped
dude.
outside of Twitter headquarters for like
Crazy.
70 days in
Well
a row.
done. Well done to that man.
70?
70 days in a
Oh
row,
my.
sleeping on the street, trying to meet
insane.
Elon Musk. Crazy. What do you guys think will be the most profitable dropshipping niche / product for 2023? I think that's an L question, but let's bring it to my boy. He's become the face of dropshipping now, you
I
know?
think there are so many niches though. So when I first started dropshipping, I was like a lot of these guys watching, where I struggled to pick the perfect product. And then I realized there's no perfect product that I could select. It's just kind of picking one that I feel confident to sell and then kind of dialing in from there. So I don't think there's a perfect niche. Obviously, we like others more than certain ones, but overall, I think if you just kind of dial in on one specific customer profile and learn the consumer psychology behind them, that's basically what we do. Is we dial in on like one set amount of people, and then we kind of master like what are they spending their money on for, like what is the value we're providing, and then if we can keep writing our product description and everything in that regard, that's kind of how we've perfected our business.
It's really interesting that you say that, because when we were doing e-commerce, and I think in 2019 we did 16 million, what I would teach my team was we don't find winning products, we find winning audiences.
Yep.
Very interesting that you said that. So I don't believe in saturation of products. I just believe in the dilution or the loss of trust in audience pockets.
Yeah.
And I think people need to utilize advertising instead of testing for products to be testing for audiences and finding an audience that resonates with the message and therefore the product. But of course, there's niches where people have been so burnt and so fatigued that they're not even worth entering, right? So you also have to understand the other players that are in the game as well. But I agree with you, bro.
Yeah.
People, you need to know your profile.
Yep.
What do you guys think about dropshipping right now in general?
I think it's awesome.
Amazing.
Amazing.
You can start with $0, bro. Like, remember when we all started, like
Yes.
years ago, bro? There was no YouTube
It's so good,
videos.
bro.
No one was talking and
Dropshipping
showing
is-
stuff
I was
like this
learning in
now.
Facebook groups from messaging people.
I was in
asking
those,
them
bro, with you.
questions.
Yep,
Yes.
exactly.
I have a quick story to tell. So we
Crazy.
filmed the podcast right before this. There's this kid that goes to this church in Arkansas. I just know this kid randomly. It's not important how I know him. Just a normal kid. He's like, I think he's 17 or 18. He's like, yo, I'm going to go through your free course. I just entered it. Because it's a free course. So like nothing to lose. Just go give it a shot.
Yeah.
He spent $1,000 testing products and it went to waste. He went and started saving up more money, and he started dropshipping again. He sent me a message 3 days ago. He's like, hey, put me in contact with Sebastian Ghiorghiu. I found a winner. I'm making, I don't know what, he's like at 5,000 for the week, 30% margin. He's like, I need to learn this certain thing about TikTok ads. But I found a winner. Like I'm making money every single day profitably right now. The random kid from Arkansas. And this happens, that's just one example. This happens all the freaking time. So like people will continue to call like cap on dropshipping and say that it's too late, like the
Brother,
phase is
people
out.
call cap on everything.
Yeah.
Bro, it's as good as it's ever, if it's not better. Like you can use AI now to test landing pages and test products way faster.
Copy.
It's way easier than it was for us. Way easier than it was for us. So
You have 3PLs.
Literally, yeah.
You have automation systems. You have payment processing companies out the ass. You have the ability to mitigate all your risk in every part of your business. You can hire employees from onlinejobs.ph for fucking $300 a month.
And infinite training
Dude,
on every step of the process.
we have a free course organized.
If you're not
Free
making
course.
money
Go
today,
take it.
if you're not making money, or if you're not at least trying to make money, dude,
Yeah.
like you're not gonna make it.
I think making
You're not
money
gonna
and
make it,
developing a
dude.
skill along the way that's valuable, that is the way. Like that's what
And
we
the
all
skill
did.
isn't drop shipping.
No,
The skill
for sure.
is sales, marketing, that you can learn in different niches and different avenues, but fundamentally you're learning a lot of the same principles.
Yeah.
So
Persuasion,
people shit a lot on drop shipping, but what they don't seem to understand is that drop shipping arbitrage has existed since the dawn of man, and it'll continue existing, but it'll evolve in a different way.
Yeah.
So we had QVC back in the day. That was all drop ship, motherfucker. All that shit was drop shipping
Pre-order.
products.
Yeah.
2+1 BOGO. All the grannies out here texting that shit.
Yeah.
Bro, that was drop ship.
They would sell 10,000.
And you know what was it? What was it? Remember how they would run the free plus shipping? Get
yeah.
this
Oh,
free
bro.
now. Just run the
Yep.
shipping.
Yeah.
Dude, they wrote
That's what
enter
got
you
me
into
going,
their
bro.
funnel.
It's like it's always changing.
Come on, the drop shipping isn't that it's not going anywhere. How the business model is executed is going to be different. And I think that even now, with the barrier of entry being potentially a little bit higher, it's good.
Yeah.
Because
You think it's higher?
Yeah.
I think it's higher in the sense of being able to follow through with something that's decent and worth your money
But
and worth.
there's-
I think it's lower
there's
to get started.
There's
Yeah,
so many
the
more
longevity.
tools. There's
Well,
so
yeah,
many
I
more
agree.
tools now that it makes it so easy for. Bro, there's an AI tool, Sitekick.ai. You give it a product, and it'll give you a landing page in 1 minute. And it won't
Sidekick.
it won't be perfect,
Yeah.
but you'll work on it for 10 minutes. And I was just saying this. I was like, bro, if I wanted to test a product back in the day dropshipping, it'd be like a day's work to
Yeah.
make a landing page. Now you can make one in like 1 minute and edit it and have it done in 10. And you can test that product. So it's like, we didn't have that kind of
Bro,
stuff.
I remember I had to go in there and code and talk to Shopify coders
Bro.
on the phone or on chat to like optimize my landers and shit back in the day.
Yeah.
Now plug and play. The
Dude.
amount of themes.
Oh yeah. Apps,
Dude,
bro.
I
Everything.
used to fulfill every single order with Orbilla.
Orbilla, bro. Click
I would
one by
fulfill
one.
every.
Bro, that
I would
shit
have
was
to call
the
the
worst.
I would have to call Wells Fargo.
Run the
and be
credit card
Hey,
in.
Run
don't
the credit
decline
card
my
in.
card.
Yeah,
Don't,
dude.
don't decline. It's not
Yeah,
fraud.
So we had got a question. Did you guys go to college?
I did not.
Did you go?
I dropped out like
Nah.
2 weeks ago.
So somebody had asked, and I think
Waste
a
of
lot
time.
of my viewers are younger. They're in high school or just in that 18, 19-year-old age. They said they got parents pressuring them hard to go to school. Did y'all experience that?
You're gonna have people pressuring you for your entire life to have you do shit that you don't want to do. Your parents are gonna pressure you till the day that they die or the day you die. You marry a girl, you marry a dude, that person's gonna be pushing you to do whatever they want you to do. You have a boss, they're gonna be pushing you. You
Yeah.
run a big company with massive employee base, or running with the SEC, or you want to go public, dude. There's always people on your ass that want to impose their will upon you. Don't let them.
Yeah, I would say one thing. Just to keep it really simple, you shouldn't take advice, any specific relative advice from anyone that is not where you want to be in that relative term. So if your parents are happily married, take advice on marriage or relationships from them. But if they're not where they should or where you want to be with money, then just politely disregard their money advice.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and vice versa, or flip it however you want. You should only learn from people on relative specific topics to whatever you're trying to achieve in your life. So
And
So-
your ability to persuade your parents is your ability to sell them on your vision,
Yeah.
right? And if you can't sell your parents
Good
on
luck
you,
selling anybody else.
who are you gonna sell, my G?
I want to add on
Nobody.
to this, but somebody asked Luke directly if they can request permission to translate your clips to Spanish. If you can remember that name, somehow y'all get in touch, or if not, yeah.
Maybe empezamos a hacer contenido en español whereby they don't have to use translation.
There
Yeah.
we go.
I'll text you a picture.
There you go. See, look, that's what real friends are for. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, on that last
Value,
topic,
bro.
I had my mom and I had my family pushing me to go as well. And the way that I convinced them that it wasn't worth it was I proved what I was capable of doing.
Exactly.
And I showed my mom, hey, look, I'm making
Actions.
$100 a
Yep.
day. She's like, damn, $100 a day? That's crazy.
Actions.
And then she was like, okay, if you want to drop out, go ahead.
Yep.
And then things started to take off from there. So prove yourself. Prove it to yourself. Let's see. a lot of people ask these generic questions like, is this a good business to start? Should I start this business?
Just start
Wrong
something.
questions. You're
It's
all
the
asking.
wrong question.
If your question has the best in it and you haven't made any money, it's the wrong question. You just have to start. The
Okay,
best.
well-
Don't worry about the best.
Yes, I
For you
completely
guys,
agree.
because everyone here has done well with dropshipping, did you guys like? Was that your first thing, or did you guys try other stuff?
No,
prior to it?
I started in the social media marketing space I would say 9 months before, 7 months before I started drop shipping. But I didn't like big client bases, whether it was people paying me on retainer or it was companies, because I felt like when I was running a service-based business where it was simple because it cost no money, you still feel like a slave with golden chains,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
Because
especially with clients.
yeah, dude. So I got rid of that really fast because bro, if you got clients that can call you up and scold you at 3 a.m, you ain't no boss.
Yeah.
It's true.
So I'm not trying to do that. If that's your way of making money, please, so be it. But I'm not trying to do things that compromise my peace of mind and where I have to
I
be
agree.
held accountable to.
Yep.
to
We had
customers.
got a donation from Jennifer. She said, "You guys speak about being a man and all these life lessons about men, but what is your opinion on women? And should they do the same, or do they have a different role in society or the future of it?" Sebastian, you've
I
been
was
talking
gonna
about the women a lot online, and I think you got some good insight here.
Yeah, I mean, oh, dude, there's a lot to unpack. So, is the question like, what should a woman do? Like,
What she was asking is,
how do you become a high value girl?
what she was
Leave it up,
asking
leave it up.
is, what is your opinion on women? That's not the
I
question.
love women.
Yeah,
great.
should they do the same, or do they have a different role in society?
In the
I think
sense of,
that's
like,
the question.
Of all the life lessons that we're teaching, they're not. I don't think they're mutually exclusive to men, right?
Yeah.
I think that we address men because it's
Most of our
'cause we're
audience,
dudes.
We are men.
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
most of our audience, and we have experience. But I think, I mean, if you want to be a high value girl, I think girls are interested in men's future, and I think guys are interested in girls' past. And I think high value men, because we have so many options, we get our pick, and we just want a good girl that doesn't give us a bunch of attitude, that makes our life a little bit more peaceful, that doesn't have a crazy history that we have to deal with. And ultimately, like, for high value men, like, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna chase it, and our lives are really stressful, and there's always shit going on, there's always fires to put out. Like, we're basically professional firefighters.
Yeah.
And so there's always chaos in our head, and if you could be a girl that brings peace into our life and just like grounds us and brings us back to earth and just brings peace into the home, that you'll be the most high value girl. So by doing that, by not having attitude, by not nagging all the time, by just being a kind and genuine energy in the home, and just, yeah, I think that's what you should do. Just protect your past, take care of yourself, and just be a kind soul.
Yeah, the only thing I'll add to that too is, like, lately there's a lot of hate on, like, women that want to be entrepreneurs and like start their own businesses. Like,
Is it hate?
I see it. Yes.
Okay, what
I see it.
Describe hate.
I think, especially with a lot of this conversation from some of the red pill community,
Okay.
it makes men bash women that want to go out there and chase a career. They say, oh,
I want you to break this thought down. I think this is an interesting
they say,
topic.
oh, women should stay home. Oh, women should only be there to support her man. And I think that there's some value in that, but you shouldn't tell a woman that that's the only thing that she's able to do.
For sure.
My own mother is an entrepreneur, and she's a badass. Like, she works super hard.
Agreed.
She's working every single week, like many hours a week. I've seen this time and time again that women are some of the smartest, most successful entrepreneurs out there. Are every single woman going to do that? No. But can it be done? Absolutely. So I don't think it's fair to box in anybody into that,
For sure. But what I would say is that those are anomalies. They're not the status quo. And
Yeah.
and I don't know, I'm not saying the status quo is right or wrong, bro, but what I'm saying is, when I've traveled to 50 countries, right? I know how the world works. I've seen things that most people will never see. And there's different dynamics in the family unit, in the family relationship, that the power of a woman really lies in her ability to nurture whatever she wants to nurture, right?
Yeah.
Women have a nurturing attitude, whether it's in a business, whether it's in a family dynamic. And of course, you have those bitches out there that they're the anomaly, once again, right?
Yeah.
But I think women have that nature, that tendency to care, to provide. And if you find that in your path in making money, so be it. That's for you. If you truly are that anomaly, that can be the case. But if I take you to South America, if I take you to the Middle East, I take you to Asia, most countries have, and people are like, yeah, but most countries, they've had patriarchy for thousands of years and colonialism and all this. Brother, this shit ain't changing. If you think that colonialism is done, slavery is over, then you haven't been to Africa, right? You haven't really gotten the dynamic of how the rest of the world works. So what I would say to that is also taking into account the fact that there is an international demographic whereby the messaging and programming that they're receiving isn't let me go be an entrepreneur and make a bag, because it's just not.
It's the anomaly.
It's the anomaly.
Yes.
There's one thing I want to say on this really quick.
Okay, then let's get back to our 98% male.
Okay, yeah. One thing I want to say, so to just set the stage for this, my mom is an entrepreneur. She has a business right now. As a guy that I am, this is just the type of girl that I want. So I'm not saying you should live your life one way or another, but I will say that this is a fact. The most depressed category and demographic or niche of humans are women that are over 40 that make over $100,000 a year. So women that do chase money are the most depressed humans in the world. So I don't think women will find their fulfillment in their careers as much as, like Luke said, there are anomalies. But if we're going to talk about majority, which is important,
And
I don't think they'll find their happiness
here's the
there.
thing, I would say the same thing for men, and that's the thing. Most men are working a job, hustling, chasing money, when I think the conversation should transcend gender and go to, like, are you pursuing the fullest potential of you as a human?
Sure, yeah.
Like, fuck this gender shit.
Yeah.
Go straight to you as a person. Is you working this job? Is you pursuing, chasing this money? Is it solving whatever it is that you're actually pursuing deep down?
Yeah,
Is that the void? Because here's the thing, what happens? People get told, they get lied to. They told, hey, you do 40 years of this career, you get your 401k, you get your pension, and you will be good. And then they hit that.
You're free.
And then they realize, I got fucked. I got lied to.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that the dream that you're being sold, that at the end of that dream, it's actually a dream and not a nightmare.
Yeah.
So you have to be extremely careful. This transcends gender. In my opinion, it goes to who you are as an individual, because I see so many dudes getting caught up chasing the bag, and they're dumb motherfuckers that don't know half of what they should and aren't operating the way that they should and are unhappy.
That's real shit.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
We got a question here from Rafis. He said, I just started my business and I've noticed I'm feeling more lonely, especially when no one understands me. What's the best way to deal with the loneliness?
I think it's just part of the journey. I felt lonely, like I'm sure you guys have, right?
You got to get comfortable with your loneliness. Solitude is good. You have to be comfortable with that.
There's a
in my
difference between being alone and being lonely.
Yeah, that's true.
I am very happy when I am alone.
Same.
Because I'm not lonely. I am with me. And I think the encouragement there's to develop substance, whereby your substance allows you to enjoy your own presence.
Yep.
I
And
feel
if
like
you
it
can enjoy,
stems from like a lack of self-respect and self-love.
yeah, and all of that comes with I talk about it often, making sure that your daily wins compound to you respecting you as a person.
Yeah.
And I tweeted about it. I said, your physical condition is a physical representation. Your body's a physical representation of the self-respect that you have.
Yeah.
And it's just an example, right? So I think that if people kind of shift their perspective completely, I think there needs to be a big shift in the entrepreneurial space on perspective, how people are perceiving moving forward, what winning is. But yeah.
Yeah, loneliness is one of those things that you're going to feel along the journey, but you need to learn to be comfortable on your own.
Yep.
And we've all struggled with that at one point in time, but when you get to that point where you can enjoy your own company, I feel like it's when you can truly be free.
When you're proud of yourself, like you'll be okay in your own company, I feel like.
Or at the bare minimum, you know that you're putting your best foot forward. You might not have accomplished everything to the point where you're like, oh, I'm proud of what I've done, but you know, okay, I'm moving in the right
If you're
direction.
doing your best, yeah.
Even when I
Usually
was
if you're
poor,
doing
I
your
was
best,
like-
you don't even like think of being lonely because you're so busy, working out, eating clean, and working on your business that I don't even process like, oh, I'm lonely, I don't have anyone. It's like I have goals that I'm trying to achieve.
You're
and so
hunting.
It's not even, yeah, exactly. It's not even a
It's
thought.
not important.
Yeah. They say no one understands you, but like the last thing I'll say about that is you can find communities online, and it's like one of the best parts of today, like Discord communities,
we've all met, bro.
Capital Club, these different places where you can meet people that definitely gonna understand you. Like I understand these guys understand me because we've been through a lot of the same struggles, and we met all through the internet. So it's like you need to be involved in these internet communities. If you really feel like nobody in your little tiny town in Arkansas understands you, that's gonna help you a lot.
Arkansas.
Shout out Arkansas.
Shout out Arkansas.
Shout
by
out
the way.
Arkansas.
Yeah. As a 14-year-old, which books do you recommend I should read? Shout out to wanting to even read at 14 instead of scrolling TikTok like a bot all day. What would you say? I got one, but I would say, honestly, at 14, you should read this book called Unscripted by MJ DeMarco. that's like the first book that kind of like broke me out of understanding that I don't need to work a job. It kind of gave me a roadmap of what it takes to start your own business. It helped me realize like what's really possible in the world. Now, at that time, there weren't as many YouTube channels like there are right now, so thankfully we have these resources. But that book was huge for me. And of course, you could dig deeper into the Bible as well if you want to learn more about the truth of society and how to actually be a better man, better human. But that would be the two that I would recommend.
Bible first, and then for money, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
The goated
Why?
book. Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Like, why go to, like, in your opinion, like, why is it your first to go to?
The Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it's just explains like the most fundamental concept of money, and it makes it very easy to understand. So I always thought I was dumb, but I understood that book. Basically, the concept is you have to put your money into things that make you money while you're not actively there. And then if you get enough of those things that make you money, your money will grow and you can put that money back into it, and then that's how you escape. So that's where I understood that concept, and I was like, oh, that makes sense.
That was the first book
I need to
read.
get rental properties. I need to
Voluntarily.
get businesses. I need to do that stuff. So that's like the turning point. Yeah.
I don't really think, personally, I'm so glad that I didn't start my journey until I was already late through high school. So I don't know, I would say, yeah, Rich Dad, Poor Dad's great, but I honestly think a lot of kids need to just be kids in the moment. And like, I'm so glad that I developed just as a normal person prior to becoming, somewhat successful, like just going through high school, chasing girls, having fun with my boys. That's so fun, and it's just like a different level of fun where you have literally no care in the world that I think people don't understand. When you get to our position, there's just constantly so much stuff, and it's not like we don't enjoy it, but it's just like, maybe delay it a little bit and just enjoy your youth, because it gets a little bit hectic in your 20s.
Or just don't let it take over most of like your life.
Yeah.
Like don't make your entire life
Like
about
you being
a business
14
guy.
and not making 10 grand a month, like you're not unsuccessful, right?
That's
Yeah.
fine. That's
Like
cool. Just
in
go
the
play.
narrative, I think, I see a lot of kids hit me up, they're 16 and they feel like they're in this dark cloud space because they're comparing themselves to people. Bro, I have kids that are 15 comparing themselves to me. Like, why would
Bro,
you
what were
ever
we
do
doing
that?
at 15? It's
Like,
like,
dude,
it's sad,
when I was
bro.
15, I was watching football matches on TV. I was out here like fishing, hanging out with my boys, playing. Like, that's what I was doing. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't out here online watching YouTube. Every once in a while, I would come by like some YouTube ads, and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" I didn't even know what a YouTube ad was back in the day. So I think people are super connected, super plugged. But to answer the question on the book, you remember last night when you texted me data sets? You're like, data sets in like the Zen mode, and I told you I was going to share something to you about the spiders.
The spiders, yes.
Can I share
didn't
something
know what
with you
were
about the
talking
spiders?
Yes. Tell me about the spiders and the audience.
So here's the thing. Everything is information. Everything is information, whether it's through a textbook, whether it's on television, or whether you're perceiving it. Everything is just information that's being received, and you're processing it. The problem is people don't know how to process information because they don't know how to think. So people can read a book and not understand it because they haven't developed the mind to understand the reading. Right? That's why so much of this content can go over people's head, because they lack what I call introspection, which is your ability to look inside, right? So intro comes from inside. Spect comes from spectacle, your ability to see. So introspection is your ability to see from within. And I think a lot of people, bro, they don't spend time doing a whole lot of introspection and thinking. So something that I like to do is learning from my surroundings and my environment. Like a lot of people, they're exposed to a lot of information, but they just go through the motions and the actions like bots, instead of understanding why is this happening. So I'm walking through the forest one day, as I love to do.
Yeah.
I recommend everybody literally be able to either sunbathe every single day, do some grounding, or expose yourself to nature, right? You are plugged and connected on social media 24/7. I think is extremely important.
Go connect to the world.
You need to go connect to
Touch
reality.
grass, guys.
Yeah, to reality. So I'm walking, and in a cobweb hits me. I'm like, fuck. And I'm walking through my trail, and then I start looking up, and I see this massive cobweb. And on the side of the cobweb, in the corner, there's a spider waiting. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, the spider just built an entire ecosystem, understanding the principle that if it positions everything in place, that eventually the food will come. And that you don't have to chase the meal. You just have to position yourself and do the things that you have to do. Set axis Y, Z, A, B, connect them all together. And then once your work is done, you sit and you wait.
You put yourself in a position.
You
for
put yourself
opportunities to
in the
come your
position
way.
to eat.
Yeah.
People are out here chasing the meal.
Yeah.
So I looked at the spider, I'm like, oh, that's very clever. Let me do the same thing. And now I just
he
position
climbed in the
myself.
tree and built a spider.
And now I'm just positioned and building spider webs in my ecosystem, right? So now I'm building spider webs and I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
And eventually the food will come. And principles like that you can literally just tap into knowledge, tap into how the world works. You don't have to limit yourself to books. You don't have to limit yourself to YouTube. There's information everywhere out there. Your ability to be perspicacious enough to be introspective and perceive it is what I think is going to put people on a different level.
Yeah. This guy said I'm 9 years old with 3 businesses.
Bro, sorry guys. I was just giving you guys some.
I'm hearing you.
Some.
And that's the type of stuff that it might go over people's heads, but when you talk right there, I'm hearing you. It's like you designing your life in a way where you can be prepared for things to come to you. You're not necessarily chasing after the next opportunity. You're setting yourself up so that the opportunities will flow to you.
You're hunting in a more effective manner.
So how can you flip that to a more applicable, practical way?
Yeah, perfect. So there's ingredients to success, right? Just like there is a blueprint for the cobweb, whether it's in their DNA, whether it's in their nature, whether it's in their instinct, they still do it with fucking perfection. It's
every time.
unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
The geometry attached to this, like it's perfection.
Yeah.
The same thing is for success, right? There's a list of ingredients, things that you can follow, that you can position yourself in weight. So for example, if you're exercising every single day and that's a priority for you, and you develop what I call a walking Lamborghini, which is to me more valuable than owning a Lamborghini. Why? Because when you interact with people that are at the highest level of the game, you're not going to win them over by talking about money. Mm-hmm. But if they look at you and they have a back problem and they have a knee pain, and you can tell them, hey, you know what? I can help you with that. And your body represents that what you're talking about is an exemplification of your lifestyle, then that person will open their door. So your ability to position yourself is by understanding how the game is played and where you want to go. So understanding, first of all, that food will come, but you have to position yourself and plant yourself in right situations, in the right environments. Also has to do with the type of job that you take on or the type of business that you could take on. I think I see a lot of people, they bounce off of shiny objects, back and forth, 6 months in different shit, and they don't focus on building their cobweb, which needs to be by design, and it needs to take time, and it's a process. And it's not a process for a hustler, right? And that's the reality. It's not a process for a hustler.
It's a because a boss, because the boss is the one that has the resource to set up that ecosystem
and has the ability and has the
knows
patience and has the ability to wait.
Yeah.
Like you could right now sit on what you could sit for the next 10 years and not have to lift up a finger.
100%.
Exactly. So you position yourself to become a boss. Now it's getting to that point. So go chase, hunt your meal, but as soon as you can, transition.
I got a good question. I want to hear both y'all's opinion. Thoughts on the economic state of the United States. We'll speak about, not the whole world.
The what?
The economic state, like the current situation with our currency and the markets. And I know you've done a lot of research for your videos, so I'm curious to hear your overall consensus and kind of what do you plan on doing with your money this year?
Yeah. So right now I'm staying extremely liquid. I'm gonna try to bring myself to sell the R8 and the truck. So I own these cars in cash, so it's frees up a good amount of liquidity for me. I'm gonna try to stay as liquid as possible, make as much money as possible in the meantime, and just wait a couple more months and consistently dollar cost average into like the markets that you can DCA into, and then towards the end of this year get into a pretty big and serious like real estate project. So to answer the question, like the state of economics right now, well, Federal Reserve is increasing interest rates. People don't borrow as much. The economy shrinks. Long story short, the economy shrinks, and the price of all the assets, luxury goods, everything shrinks. So I made an offer on a date today. I offered him $4,000 less, and I was like, hey, markets have been shrinking for a year. They're going to continue to do so. I said Federal Reserve is going to hold interest rates at 5%. I said, this thing will be worth less than my offer in 8 months. You should just give it to me now. Unfortunately, he declined, but...
Good pitch, though.
Yeah, I wrote
a
a whole story on it, but yeah, unfortunately he declined. But yeah, economy shrinking, assets are getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So have as much money as you possibly can ready to deploy starting, let's say, like 6 months from now. I know we've seen a rally. I think it's a bull trap because economy is still shrinking. But the reason we saw the rally is because we had positive inflation report. CPI data came in lower. Inflation was 6.5%. And there was also talks from the Federal Reserve about only increasing the rate by 25 basis points instead of 50. So slowing down how much damage they're causing. And good inflation reports, so that's why everyone got excited. But I think it's
not really fixing the root problem.
Right, it's gonna go back down. So I think just make as much money as possible and start buying in a couple months if you can. So
I think you summarized it pretty well, and I'm kind of in the same mode myself, just acquisition and continuing to build. Also DCA, and I do want to buy real estate this year.
Do it.
With you, Luke, you have done very well with crypto. And actually, you called out people that was all saying, Moon Boys, we're going to the top. You was like the one lone wolf that was against everybody. So I'm curious what you think about crypto and the market right now. We saw Bitcoin go up to $20,000. Is that a good sign? Is that just some like something?
Short-term relief.
Yeah.
You know, short sellers getting squeezed happens in every market. I'm in the same boat. You know, there's 3 buckets whereby an entrepreneur fits, right? In their season of making money or their relationship with money. The first one is your ability to make money, your ability to create wealth. Create using the word very loosely because of course you can't make money.
Yes.
But you know, right now we're in this creation stage where the goal, like you said, is to how much money can I generate? How much money can I make? The next stage is the multiplication stage. So it's not only understanding the stages, but it's also being able to change your change your mindset in those stages, whereby when you change your mindset from, let's say, creation to multiplication, your business model, your ability to operate is going to change. That's why in 2020, I went from creating wealth to multiplying. So I moved over my entire network.
So would you say now you're in the third stage of preservation?
Correct. So now we are slimming to what I would say is like the third quarter to fourth quarter of preservation of wealth before I would say mid 2023. I'm full back into accumulation mode, making a fuck ton of money, and I believe the next bull run is Q3 of 2024.
Yeah.
So I have
somebody clip that.
I have about, and here's the thing, I'm not popular when I say these things, but I'm usually right.
You do have quite a crazy track record.
And I'm preparing myself to do another, you know, if I can pull another 40x, it'd be really nice.
I like this question
here.
here.
We can do 10x. That would be good.
I want to bring this topic up real quick. So this guy right here, he says, love y'all, shout out to you, bro. He said, I'm at a crossroad with my current girlfriend. We share religious and most beliefs, but we don't share the same ambition. She doesn't mind working a 9-to-5 and living a normal life, but I aspire for much more. What would y'all do?
I know my answer.
Well, it'd be interesting if you could say what religion, because that would give us also some context into their belief systems.
Yeah, you could share the religion in the chat. I mean, I think me and Sebastian are going to have a kind of similar answer on this, but you go ahead. I'm curious to hear what you have to say. Because I have a girlfriend that's kind of like that too, you know? She works a job. She's not like trying to become a multi-millionaire influencer, 10 million follower model, you know? We work really well together.
Girls, yeah, usually, I mean, typically girls are not extremely ambitious like guys are. Like, they're not designed to want to go and accumulate all the resources in the world and protect and provide like we are. So if she doesn't want to like go out and make a ton of money, like I guess it's hard because I don't understand the question very well. Like, does she not want you to do that? Is that the question, or does she not want to do it herself? Because
it sounded like she didn't want him to live like a crazy life.
If she does not want you to go out there and try to make as much money as you can for your sake.
So long story short, if she's holding you back from your fullest potential, X her out. If she's doing her thing but doesn't, mitigate your ability to excel and isn't holding you back, then it's I think something that could work.
Yeah, that's the answer. If she's holding you back and slowing you down from getting to where you want to go, or making you feel like,
and it's not just your girlfriend, bro.
Yeah, your friends,
your homies,
family,
your business partner, your
everyone.
family. Yeah. Dude, I went through a process. I didn't speak with certain family members for over a year. Mm-hmm. Why? Because there's a season for everything, and people are attached to their parents every fucking day for their entire life. What does mom think? What does dad think? What do you think?
It's so true. Everybody looks for approval before they take the actions that they know that they should
what
do
about
in their heart.
Approve of yourself?
Yes,
it's true.
Approve of yourself.
I started seeing the most success in my life when I started to listen to these notes from my subconscious and actually trust them.
Yeah.
And when you do that, life becomes easier because you don't have to feel like you have to learn what you need to do or you have to ask everybody what you need to do. You can follow your heart, and that's going to guide you in the direction of where you should be going. That's been my reality, at least.
Yep. Facts.
They said,
Good stuff.
let's get this next question. Yo, I dropshipped the last few years, stacked a good amount of cash. I'm curious on what you think is a good amount of cash. But when do you think is the right amount of time to move on to more long-term business model with higher barriers of entry? If you're already making money with the business and you're stacking cash, what's the rush to move on from it?
Yeah,
you know?
I think double down. So you have $500,000 in the bank, and then
Dude,
I think doubling
it.
down. The thing is, why would you go learn a new instrument if you've already spent time developing the skill set in an instrument and being able to monetize that?
Raise the barrier of entry of your e-commerce business.
Brand
Develop
it.
your own product, brand it, get a shitload of custom content, become the best in your industry for that product. And now you do what you do with your skill set and you have a high barrier of entry. Otherwise, you're just starting all over again.
Which is the temptation of the entrepreneur. It's the
Of course.
ecstasy of beginning.
yeah.
Yes.
It's the ecstasy
Well,
of
it's also
starting.
easy though. It's easier to hop to something
Of course.
else. The tough stuff is branding the product, getting custom content,
going through it, it's boring,
because
dude.
it's boring. Yeah, exactly. But that will make you most of the money, and then you exit, and then you can go from there. But
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way for you. I mean, of course you can learn something brand new from scratch, like start a software business, something like that, but
why?
why? Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's spamming in the chat. I'm 17. I had a girl of 4 years that I got pregnant. Oh my gosh. But the kid passed away, so we broke up.
Holy cow.
Father's back in prison, got expelled from school. I don't know what to do.
Dude, I'll pray for you.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So
You have to
basically,
use
I
that
need
pain.
advice. 17
Jeez.
and a girl of 4 years that I got pregnant. Oh, we gotta change the
1 second, guys. L stream.
internet.
It's the.
Well, that's a tough situation, brother.
Open the door, maybe. Is it all warm in here?
What I would say is, I don't want to say anything about that.
We could
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's a pretty intense one.
Camera temperature got too hot.
or we can swap to the computer for the rest, or either or.
Or can we swap to another camera?
1 second.
You could use your webcam.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
I mean, it's probably like 5-10 minutes left anyway.
Yeah, we're coming to the close anyways.
No worries, I got it on the iPhone 14.
Boom.
See how this thing's looking.
Oh,
There we go.
not bad.
All right, so we're back in 480p.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a tough question, bro. All I could say is that it's part of your story. You can use this. You can use this pain to push you further. We've all gone through hard shit.
And quit putting your dick in chicks. Like, why are you gonna do that? You're the one that got the chick pregnant,
It's true.
right?
Don't quit.
So quit doing this bullshit, and you're not gonna have to deal with certain bullshit. I know it
100.
sounds harsh, but
100 from Luke Alexander.
it's the best birth control there
Hey,
is.
what are we doing with this chat money? are we gonna donate this, split it?
Yeah,
Are you
so-
buying dinner for us?
Yeah, you know, the thing about that chat money, you know,
Because we did a live stream before and I didn't get
you know, the
it.
thing about the chat money, I think
It
it like
goes
goes to
straight
YouTube.
to the stock market. It goes
Yeah,
straight
yeah,
to the stock
exactly,
market.
exactly.
It goes straight into a
I'm
portfolio.
gonna stack it all
JW
up. I'm
crypto
gonna get you guys
portfolio.
all nice and
He's on
easy.
preservation mode. He's on preservation mode. This man's on preservation mode.
Nah, I'll buy you a bunch of LaCroix and we'll call it even. What tips do you guys have for accumulating a large social media following? I think that's a pretty good question. We're all kind of like getting up there a little bit. Luke, you can go first, and then Sebastian, then I'll chime in. You kind of grew fast.
Be authentic, bro. Be real, and be unique. Find an angle where, and you have to understand that creating content and marketing your content is two different things. You just being good isn't enough. You have to be seen, and that means you have to do things that are extraordinary.
What do you say,
And-
Sebastian?
Okay, so this is a really simple question actually. There's it's one of those questions where it's one of those things where one thing is going to make a huge difference. You need to make content that makes people feel an emotion. It doesn't matter what the emotion is, whether it's inspiration, whether it's them feeling intelligent, like they learned something, whether it's them angry because you said something controversial. No matter what you do, if you create content that makes the viewer feel a sort of emotion,
An emotional trigger.
even excited, just an emotion, then people are going to watch content, they're going to share the content, they're going to talk about the content, they're going to fall in love with the creator, and then you'll grow. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100% Yeah, I think what I've learned the most of growing is like making stuff that's actually entertaining to watch. Like just something that you would show to a friend and y'all could actually sit there and watch it. And it's not like the most boring thing in the world, but also providing value. I think that's how you cultivate a real audience that's going to love you forever, is if you gave them some inspiration, you gave them some hope that gets them to keep going through their journey. So, make entertaining stuff, be authentic, provide value, and you'll be able to grow. We'll answer 3 more questions. We got about 1,500 people on the live, so thank you guys for coming. We got the Andrew Tate question.
Ask it. I think it's an important question.
Luke, what do you think of Andrew Tate being detained in Seb's home country, Romania? I mean, you spent time with Andrew. What's your thoughts on the whole situation?
Doesn't matter what I think.
Well, that's what they asked you. They literally asked you.
And that's my answer. That's my answer too, because
Dang, he's gonna charge you back.
there's nothing to be said. My opinion is that if there is no evidence, then there is no guilt. I've yet to see evidence.
Same.
So that's how I run it. I want to be judged by that same metric. I want to be judged by the metric of evidence. Therefore, I will cast judgment upon the same metric. Until I see no judgment, I see no harm. And until then, that's my opinion.
I would say that's a fair statement. I kind of agree. I haven't seen anything that's too concrete of like, oh, this guy deserves to be locked up for life. And they're really pushing this agenda hard, like harder than I've ever seen over the year of Tate being, popping. So we'll see how it all unfolds. My name is Jeremiah. I have a question. Have y'all ever hit it? What's up, Jeremiah? Have y'all ever hit a point in life where you had to unlearn certain things in life, and how did you go about it? Unlearn might be not the way he meant to word it. Maybe he's talking about like reinventing yourself and becoming
I think
new
he meant
again.
unlearn.
Well, unlearn. How do you unlearn something?
No. To answer your question, no. I've always built upon what I already know. So there's no reason to unlearn something. All the information is useful, whether it's how you do something or how you shouldn't do something. You just build upon it. So no, I had never unlearned something.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, you could get rid of certain habits and forget certain like behaviors, but like if it's in your brain, it's there, Yeah. We got people donating like crazy. Y'all don't have to donate to ask a question, but thank you. Appreciate you. What do y'all do when a business isn't working and you have a strong job offer? I'm saying take the job and use that money to continue working on the business. Like you don't have to say fuck the job just because I want to be an entrepreneur and I'm too good for a job.
It's the easiest way for cash flow. Then you just run it into a business. And then
as long as you have the opportunity, as long as the job opportunity gives you the ability to excel, and you're not limited by a specific paycheck, and that you have the energy to build something on the side when you get home. That's also an important factor that people don't mention, is the stamina of whatever your current 9 to 5 is. When I worked a 9 to 5, I still had enough energy and stamina to whereas I could go and work on myself or on my businesses when I got home. So, if you're out here hustling all day, picking up garbage, and you get tired at the end of the day or whatever, it's probably not the best vertical for you to position yourself for a good evening of success.
Yeah.
But I would say take the job offer and work on your stuff at nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. All right, look, so we're going to take one last question. Go ahead and drop some W's in the chat for my boys coming out, dropping game for you guys. This guy's time is extremely valuable, so we want to give it back to you guys and provide value in the best way we can. I also put all their YouTube channels in the description, so if you're not subscribed to these 3, go ahead and do that right now. We're going to take one more question. Y'all can start spamming questions in the chat and we'll pick one of them. But how do you guys feel this conversation was today?
This was awesome.
Nice.
Dude. Thank you for having us.
No, I learned a lot from these things as well. Like being around people like you guys is one of the things that I'm most grateful for in life. My circle, my friends, the people that I am able to call upon in my life is one of the things that I appreciate the most. So thank you guys for sure.
Sure, bro. Me too.
All right, so we got somebody just dropped 20. They said, how do you balance entropy / creativity with routine / regimentation in your life? My boy been in the dictionary.
That's Luke's answer.
Yeah. Take it away.
Entropy is this idea of chaos coming from order. And a creative person deals with a nebula of what could be considered disorganized, a disorganized environment, a disorganized mind. But there's a lot of beauty and power in that if you can find somebody that can channel and help you take your creative work Like we talked about the importance of an assistant, the importance of having a creative director, and people that, if you are a creative individual, give you the ability to do the administrative tasks and the tasks that are a little bit more draining so that you don't have to do them. But creative people are messy by nature, and that's okay. You just have to figure out how to complement that with people that are extremely organized.
That was my first thought on the question, because it's like I consider myself almost more of a creative even than an entrepreneur. And like I find myself almost in a chaotic state when I'm making my art and I'm going out and I'm doing these projects. It's kind of like learning to enjoy that and understand that that is part of creativity. Like, you think Jean-Michel Basquiat was really out here like, okay, today I am going to paint a black man with a crown and it's gonna have all these things. It's like, he's just in there, he's got music playing, he's probably doing drugs and shit, just like, done. And then it's like, oh, wow, look at this multi-million-dollar art piece. It's like, if you're a creative, your life is gonna be that way. So it's just learning to enjoy that and appreciate that. And also putting people in position around you that are more organized, that have the traits that you don't have.
You're still inside a framework and a system, right? And if you want to operate in freedom within that system, you need to position people to do the things that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So if anybody here is making over $250,000 a year, the first $40K that they make should be going out and getting an assistant to do all the tasks that they should not be doing, right? So you should not be going and getting your groceries. You should not be paying your bills. You should not be making sure your plates are clean. These are all ROI negative tasks. And
Yes.
you need to be able to find somebody that can mitigate these tasks for you. And if
Now,
you're a
the people
creative
that are
person,
listening to this that I have no income, they're going to be like, oh, let me go and
that's
just...
why I said you need at least a
Find a
$250,000.
girlfriend,
Yeah.
easier.
$250,000 and then build with 20% of that.
Life hack.
He's on to something.
Free.
He's on to something. Anyways, to wrap up this stream, shout out 98. Bro dropped $100. He's doing his thing. Islam, shout out to him. But yeah, any final notes y'all want to leave us with, Sebastian?
Start dropshipping. Make money.
Discover TikTok
Make money.
dropshipping.com.
Get rich.
Yes, W plug.
So you can live a good life and meet cool people.
Yeah.
Because this is like such a fun week. Like we just get to hang out, and we wouldn't be able to do this.
The
if
only
we didn't
reason
make-
we're all friends is because we proved our ability to make a ton of money.
Yeah.
So
No, brother. There's plenty of people that are not here that make money.
Yeah,
Here
there's a
with
lot of
us?
people that make money that are losers, and I wouldn't spend time with.
Oh yeah.
It is.
I respect your guys' character more than
money
anything.
brought us together though.
But
You guys
money
can't
did
deny
bring
that.
us together.
Because
But not-
okay, well,
we have
yeah,
the respect. We
It's
have
a
the,
leg of the.
Yeah, I mean,
the,
sure.
the fundamental respect for each other is because like, hey, I know what you've been through because I've been through it too.
Yes, but it's not even just the money. It's the fact that you went through and you came out the other side and you became this man that you are today. I don't know how much money you have.
There's no amount of money that a person could make that will grant them my respect. I may give you my time for that interaction and stuff like that, but dude, the level of game I'm trying to play at, I don't want people around me that I don't fuck with, dude. I will, and that's why I tell people like, dude, most of the motherfuckers working a 9 to 5 are gonna go clock in, be told what to do by a person that you don't like, be fired by a person that you don't like. You go home, if you don't have a good relationship, which we talk about all the time, you're gonna go to a person that doesn't fuck with you. Like, why would you want to live that life? So if you want to take life by your own terms, I think it's extremely important to start changing that mindset.
Yeah, but I hear you, Sebastian, and I appreciate you for saying that because we are all together today and we got to share the value with the people. So with that being said, I think we wrap it up
you
here.
boys. You
I
guys
appreciate you- all you guys.
It's been fire. We got to shred. Too bad you can't shred, bro.
I know.
Is it an excuse?
It's not an excuse.
Because
bro.
you look like a shredder. Who's the snowboarding guy that
Talking
kind of
about
looks
Zeb.
like you? There's a guy that looks like
You're
you.
talking about Zeb. He
Yeah.
raw.
Sean White.
That guy's.
I'm nothing like that, man. I'm like, yeah.
Have you done blacks yet? Like double diamonds?
Yeah.
Amazing, dude.
All right, y'all. We're going to go talk about snowboarding and drink
I like
some more
those, though.
sparkling
They're fun
water.
'cause you can go as fast as you
Make sure to
want.
subscribe to the
You can do your own
boys.
thing.